nearing 20-25 hours this week just on the cards themselves. So this is the first one that I drew. This was special request from Jaden. And then I drew this one. I drew this one. And I drew this one. I was talking with Jaden a little bit when we got on the meeting, and he said that the white background works a lot better. So one of the main things that I'm going to do this week, along with researching with my code, is I'm going to reprint these. I'm going to send them to my mom so she can reprint them all on the white background, all 8 of them. And then next week, because Jaden said to work on my code the most this week, next week I'll be working on sending those to all of the group members to their personal addresses so that they can start training them. This week, Jaden did a bunch of fixing, which I really appreciate, on the build Gradle file and getting all the dependencies caught up to the modern dependencies that we need to be using now. So I'm going to be doing a lot of research and recoding a bunch of the actual like pieces in the code that currently are showing errors, but that's just because they're on a past dependency. And so I just need to figure out what the modern code is that I need to replace. It shouldn't take too long, hopefully. I just need to do research. It's going to be a fun learning curve for me. And honestly, as far as I'm thinking, I just need, along with that, I'm just going to be paying attention as much as I can with the Teams chat, especially since Jaden is going to be posting the requirements on the Teams later this week for all of us to work on, and I'm going to be working on that as well. That's all I got. And then I don't know who was it. Daniel going second?
Yeah, I can go now.
Okay.
Share my screen. Okay, can you see?
Yeah,
I can see.
Perfect. Yep. Okay. So I started on a few different things this week. I'm not quite finished with any of them, but I'm pretty close and have made some good progress. The first and biggest one I've started on is dealing with the different zones of the game. So a player's deck, their hand, the graveyard, and the actual board when a card is in play. Right now I'm specifically working on the functions to draw the card and validate that, make sure that's all good, and applying that to all of my different files to make sure everything connects right and will pass the validators. I also started on a few new abilities for cards. I already have dealing damage and heal damage. Those are pretty basic though. So I've started doing a poison function, which I have in a few places across here. And I'm trying to figure out how to make the damage occur, be inflicted on one turn and actually take effect in future turns. And I have a duration, so that can last for multiple rounds. And then an intimidate function to lower the attack of a card or a player or something. And again, I'm still working on finishing all of these up, but I've made some pretty solid progress and I'm excited to get those done and hopefully add a couple of other abilities as well. And that's my week.
awesome. Thanks. Sorry, I was just getting the file up.
Mhm.
Go ahead and share my screen. Great. So yeah, so I guess I'll talk about first about just about the requirements elicitation. Yeah, went through that today, and I didn't want to rush it, especially since we didn't want to rush it, especially since that's going to be what our final grade is based on. So we'll get that in this coming week, so we could do a thorough investigation and deduction of what will be produced in week 13 and be specific and narrow about it. So that's regarding the requirements elicitation for this week. Um, yeah, I'm on track for the demo next week. Exciting progress has been completed this week and is in the midst of being completed. Um, so you guys can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. Sorry, because last week I thought I was sharing, and then anyways, so it's actually training right now. This is the model here. Let me see. I'll go up a little bit so you can see from the beginning. So I actually started training this last night. Let's see. This is where I started. Um, I don't think there's a timestamp here, but there is a timestamp for each epoch, and every epoch, for those who don't know, ML is just pretty much a training round. And I'm not using a GPU just because my laptop doesn't have a GPU, which would actually make this a lot faster. Um, but I've started working on a script to because I'm gonna actually the end model will be trained on Google Colab since Google Colab um has a free tier, and I'm actually a Google Plus member, so I might get more. But they have like some fancy GPUs like just available for free for students and anyone, I guess. I mean, yeah, they do because yeah, when in 450 in CS450, we use that for all of our projects. So I'm gonna use that for I'm gonna be doing that next, but right now it's just training locally on my PC, and it doesn't have a GPU, so it's taking longer. I mean, it's still gonna take a while, but it'll be faster for sure on a collab. So like instead of like 2 days, it'll take probably like 6 hours or something, depending on all the settings that I put in, which right now is pretty standard for ML for image like detection is like 50 epochs, so 50 rounds of training, um, which we did in 450. So really glad I took that class. Awesome class and recommend it to everyone. Um, who wants to know about machine learning and all that stuff. But anyways, so right here we got some variables. So we want to get this box loss and the CLS loss right here. Um, down to the lowest numbers they can be. And yeah, but anyways, we'll go into that. So right now I'm on epoch 32. Anyways, but this will be done around like 5 in the morning my time. Uh After that, the TensorFlow light file will be produced. Once the TensorFlow light file will be produced, that's the trained model, and that'll be ready for what is called the Android project, the Android portion. So we'll just drop that into well, I'm gonna push to GitHub, so it'll be already included, so everyone will have it, and then um it'll be available to everyone, and then when then me and Adam are going to be working closely on getting the coordinates. So this was initially his when I wrote it, what is called the timeline. I initially wrote it as mainly his responsibility to get it from the Android what is called from the model, because like once it's trained, it's but I'm gonna work with him this week to get the coordinates from the model, because now um GLDB object, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. GLDB object in the Android project what be instantiated, and then it's going to what is called talk to or connect to the model, send it video frames um from the camera, and the model will then use those frames to detect if there's a card or not. If there's a card or cards, it will send those coordinates back to the view. And that's when Daniel's going to come in, because Daniel's pretty much in charge of the controller for the program, or for the project, since he's writing the game engine. So from there, the game engine, and Adam, and I guess I can do it too instead of Adam, um, but should be anyways, whatever. So then Adam and or me and Daniel will design the methods to transfer over the those coordinates, and pretty much like figure out the game state. Like we'll from the coordinates that are given us from the model, figure out, okay, we got like 4 cards detected. Oh, the card now has like he's attempting to place it like into attack mode. So like that logic all has to get transferred to the server. And since Daniel's in charge of the controller, well, yeah, that's controller stuff. So we're going to, that's what I'm going to work with Daniel. Um, and then after that, um, I think that's all on that. All I can remember at least. Um, yeah. I guess Adam's better now. And he like finished up those cards, so that was nice. Yeah, especially because we hadn't seen the cards until today, so but it's really I was actually quite impressed with the artwork and his creativity there. So props to Adam for that. Yeah, I did let Adam know that he needs to focus on the coding, because he seems to be a little he's had a lot going on, so but I think this week he's finally gonna get serious with the coding. So I'm really glad there. Uh I was really glad to see everyone's work this week. This is actually really exciting to see everyone's work this week. But anyways, let me show some more of my work. You kind of see it in that, you see it in action there. But let's see. Oh, this was a cool little photo. This is from the training so far. This is like some of the initial ones you see, like this is from just like some of the initial epochs. So you see here, like it's already like you see, you could already like see where these cards are. Like, oh man, where is it? So, and an interesting cool little tidbit here is it knows what card it is too. It doesn't just know like that there's a card on the screen. It knows which card it is. So if you see here, the 0, the 2, and the 3, those are the IDs for the cards. So it's telling us like, hey, I know that it's Elder. I called him Bulbasaur in the image file, but he's like Elder something. And like number 2 represents the Grim Reaper. So the program knows it's the Grim Reaper card, the Elder card, and like this Wizard card. That's why you see the 3. It's like associated with that, because that's the ID. And yeah, so super cool, righteous, and oh yeah, I thought that was a cool thing to show. Um, oh, I'll just go ahead and show this real fast. Uh, so let's ignore these photos because that was from the initial run, which I had to delete. But let's see. So, and then if you could see here, oh, this is also from another initial run. I should delete them, but I haven't. Um, right here, these are the latest generated images from the image generation code. Oh, and also what I worked on this week, which I didn't get a chance to talk about, but I also updated the image generation code to actually like it was actually super cool. Here, let me run through a few of these so you can see the difference. It's I thought it was awesome. I actually added a light generation. Not light generation, what is it called? Like I added code to change the brightness on the photos so randomly. So it can simulate times a day because when we don't know when Daniel, Connor, me, or Adam are going to like actually be testing. It could be day or it could be night. So I'm just gonna go through so you can see. See, this one is brighter than the last one. Oh, what is it? Yeah, you see that? That's brighter. And so you'll see that's even brighter. So I just added like just some just change the brightness randomly to it. So and also the quality of the photos. So some photos on here that it's training on are actually a better quality than the others. And that's done so like, because I don't know, we don't know if Daniel Connor and Adam, if they have like the latest iPhone, like everyone has the latest iPhone, it's gonna work like on perfect phones, but like some people don't have the best cameras on their phone, i.e., me. So it's going to it'll be able to detect cruddier pictures since we added that in. Um, but yeah, so it's in there. So we'll just kind of go quickly. Since I thought I was sharing my screen last week too, but like yeah, anyways, so that was some improvement on that image generation code from last week. Um, And then, yeah, right now, since I only had the three cards, um, what is it called? I was only able, well, now, well, only, yeah, I was only able to generate the training data, for the three cards. So when this model is done training, it'll only be able to recognize these three cards, because it doesn't know what the other card is. So if there's like ace of spades, like if it's like a like a different deck or anything, it won't know what that card is, so it won't be able to detect it. But it's being trained on the three cards that we have, and so we'll be able to detect those. Yeah, and you see it's just lots of training data. So I just exit out of that. You get the point of that. Um, yeah, so 3,000 cards. Um, And then I also worked on, so I had to split it into like, I wrote the code for the training this week. I finished it and finalized that. Uh, Perhaps in depending on how the model performs. I mean, most like there's always gonna be tweaking, so I'll definitely be tweaking that in the next few weeks. Depending on how the model goes. Uh, this is so so it's an 80-20 split for the training data. So that's pretty standard for image detection. So 80% of the data is used for training, and then it's validated with 20% of the data. So you hold that 20% off from the model so it doesn't just like memorize everything. And then so you have that like 20% to like see like, hey, like okay, it's correct, like because it doesn't have the data for the validation data. So it receives the YOLO labels. So in the YOLO labels are what is called the actual coordinates of the card, so it like knows where they are. Um, so right here we are. So YOLO labels. So same thing with the YOLO labels. It has what is called labels to train on. So they're these ones, and then labels to validate on. It's running right now, so I think that's why they didn't show up on the validate like on these folders, because yeah, yeah. But anyways, it's right here. The yellow label's right here. These since I already went through this, I won't like mess with it. But it's right here. So these are the coordinates of the card. This is how it knows to like you saw the box from earlier. Oh, I already closed it, right? Okay. But this is how it knows like the width, height, in and where it is. So X, Y on the image, and then like width and height um of the card on that image. And remember the Y on images, it actually goes negative. It like starts at 0 and it goes negative. So like for some of them, I think I said that right. I don't know. Anyways, whatever. So that's on the for the yellow labels. That's how it actually knows where it is, and then trains, and then it goes back and then checks it against the validation data, and the validated yellow labels. See like, oh, did I get it right? No. Go back and do it again, and then it like it has weights. And it changes weights depending on how well it did last time. And improves upon itself and the neurons and all that stuff. And that was the big thing I did this week was the training. Um, yeah, and I went through a couple versions of training. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. So I have a train. Where's my other train file? Oh, it's because I'm at this full. Sorry if I'm taking a little longer. Yeah, I had Oh, right. I had the two generator. That's what it was. I only have one training file right now. It was a generator, right? Because it was approved upon generator. And because I was initially I was only making like, what is it? 300 backgrounds? Like 300, not backgrounds, 300 completed synthetic. Um, This the math. It's right here. Initially, from my generator PY first file, I was only creating, um, so for each card, I was generating what is called 100 different backgrounds. So it was only being produced onto the 100 different backgrounds, but not actually like so the one image we get like but it'd be the same part on that one image. And then what I included this week was updated it to 10 variations on that same image. And we're talking that like the lighting, the adjustment of quality, all that got added onto it. So now so now it's 10 different varieties uh, of the same background on the card. So, and then that actually, um, we're actually not going to do 8 cards I mean 10 cards anymore. We're actually doing 8. So, it's not good. So the final product would be 8,000 images. Uh, but yeah, anyways, so generated that. Uh, that took a few hours for my computer to do afterwards. Um, and then yeah, it's training on here. Um, a big week this coming week for us. We're um all gonna have to put in a significant amount of hours to be able to get our prototype done. I'm pretty much what for my for the ML. It's pretty much done. I'm gonna run it again like on Colab, like I said. It's just a few tweaks to get that working. Um, so I'm good. So that's why I'm gonna take more responsibility on the getting the coordinates in the Android app. So I'll be working with Adam and Daniel and everyone this week for sure. So it is good. So I'll provide tech expertise anywhere that's needed this week, and that's all I got, guys. Thanks.
Awesome. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is turn on my camera. Point this towards my laptop. Y'all can see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is one of the stuff I was redoing. like I'll put it this way. This week it took me about 15 hours. Like this is like from working on more server stuff, um, tweaking some of the past ones I've already done from the beginning, just to update the server network connection. And took me about 5. I'd say today would have been number 6 different times to just having to go through and redo it all just to make sure it saves and pushes up to GitHub. So this is one of the new files, Match Manager. This is one of the socket connection amongst all 4 players, so that way when each player were to take a turn, the network receives it and stays in line with everything else with all the other clients and sockets. And then this one's one that I made. So that was from the very first time I did it. But over here, another new one, Connection Manager. Yeah. So that's another one where it's, yeah. So this one basically is supposed to tell like the other servers, hey, so and so just hopped in to play the game or just join the game, and then also sends out the connection like, hey, so and so decided to leave the game, and so just adds and removes players from the game, which I thought was pretty fun to do. And then yeah, this is the one that I just had to update, making sure all the ports are matched up right. And whoa, what happened? There we go. Just getting all the servers connected, all this stuff. Making sure that each player was able to start their turn and end their turn. So that way it just updates the sequence. And then last but not least, here in the networking, didn't really take that much. This one's equivalent to the main one where it basically does just about the same thing, but just like in more, how would I put it? Oh, I was gonna say advanced, but it's not really advanced. It's like a different type of way, but overall, it's just to make sure like everything is just aligned as far as sending and receiving, and then keeping everything in one connection. So yeah, man, so grateful that it finally pushed up to GitHub. That way, wouldn't have to stress about it and just keep moving on to continue to work on more stuff. So the only thing I just gotta do really is figure out how to install that Android thing, because I'm trying to figure out like how it's supposed to be set up. So that way everything continues to run like it should. And then not sure if we even talked about um, utilizing Tailscale, or if we're gonna hold off on that for a little bit longer. But yeah, so this is all my work. So yeah, pretty nice. And you guys did say that it was pushed up to GitHub afterwards. guys did confirm that. You saw it, right?
Yes, I saw it. Beautiful work. Lots of work. It was good. I was, like I said, I was pretty impressed with Daniel and Connor's work this week. They did great, especially Connor coming in clutch, pushing in his 2 weeks worth of work on there. So that was pretty great to see. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that's our presentation for this week.
Awesome.
All right.